Hello and welcome to Ageless Raw. This channel is for those who like to see megalithic sites from another perspective. If you have watched the earlier 3 parts of Ratu Boko Palace and 2 parts of Sewu Temple, then this last part of Ratu Boko presentation will kind of summarize these 2 temples. Java Island is a beautiful island that can make you feel like you just stepped out of a time machine. The very interior of Java can still give you a sense of what it is like to live in ancient times. If you visit Ratu Boko Palace, don't forget to drop by Sewu Temple. They are very close to each other. Sewu Temple and Ratu Boko Palace are about 10 minutes drive from each other. These two are related to legend of Roro Jonggrang. However, all the megalithic sites I mentioned earlier are also nearby. If you put all this together, it will not make sense that 5 enormous megalithic temples built by ancient Javanese can completely escape history. Let's understand the legend of Roro Jonggrang before you visit this site. But don't forget, before the Western experts came to Java, the legend was an actual local history. Their history to them was just as real as Christians believe Adam was created out of clay and Lot's wife turned to stone. The legend tells of a king by the name Ratu Boko. He is an ogre, a man-eating ogre who ruled Boko kingdom. Every day, he sent a soldier to capture a man for him to eat. If the soldier failed, he would eat the soldier. But there is a neighboring king known as Prabu Dama Moyo. He ruled Pengging kingdom. One day, Ratu Boko decided to expand his kingdom and decided to invade Pengging kingdom. This war resulted in both sides suffering. Prabu Dama Moyo sent his son Bandung Bondowoso, who has magical power to fight Ratu Boko. Upon capturing Boko kingdom, Bandung Bondowoso realized Ratu Boko had a beautiful princess by the name Roro Jonggrang. Bondowoso proposed to marry her, but Roro Jonggrang rejected the proposal because she didn't want a husband who killed her man-eating ogre father. But Bondowoso kept proposing. Finally, Roro Jonggrang agreed to marry Prince Bondowoso if he could fulfill 2 demands. First, Bondowoso must build a huge well called Jalatunda, and second demand is that he must complete 1,000 temples in one night. Bondowoso agreed and immediately used his supernatural power to create a gigantic well. Upon completion, Roro Jonggrang tricked Bondowoso into going down into the well and asked Gupolo the giant, who was Prabu Boko's assistant, to bury him with rocks and boulders. But Bondowoso used his supernatural power to come out and forgave Roro Jonggrang and move on to complete the second demand. Bandung Bondowoso summoned the demons and jinns from the underworld to help build the temple. Upon completing 999 temples, Roro Jonggrang commanded her maid to start a huge fire in the east to mimic the sun. Then they make a lot of noise pounding rice, which is a typical dawn activity. The roosters began to crow. This tricked the demons into thinking it was sunrise, and the demons swiftly disappeared back into the underworld. By now, Prince Bondowoso lost his temper, and in a rage he cursed Roro Jonggrang into a pillar of stone. The Durga statue at Prambanan temple was referred to or believed to be Roro Jonggrang. Today, the Jalatunda well is a crater of Parahu volcano. The legendary 1,000 temples are Sewu Temple, where Sewu means 1,000. Armed with this knowledge, I would like to explore on the real mystical side of Java. Indonesia is made up of over 1,300 ethnic groups, with about 700 languages and hundreds of local legends and folklores. There is no shortage of places to see, but they have one thing in common. The spiritual world is very real to them. Take this as an example. Here is a Muslim who commanded the guardian spirit of Ratu Boko to enter the body of this boy to have an interview in a casual conversation style. From what I can understand, the spirit being is from a Siluman race. Siluman being is a being from another dimension but living among us. Siluman beings occasionally appear as humans and live among us without us knowing. They respect our culture and way of life. They are spiritual beings who can be part of our physical world. When the soul leaves the body, the soul can have a choice to join the Siluman race. Humans can also voluntarily join the Siluman race, but when the soul decided to come back to human body, they always find that those people they knew were already very old or already dead. This reminds me of a time traveler or alien abduction stories, where there is a time lapse between two dimensions of reality. The Siluman being also revealed through the boy that they were there to guard pieces of gold inscriptions. These gold pieces of inscriptions are for leaders of spiritual realm. According to the Siluman being, Javanese of the ancient Mataram kingdom destroyed the temple in search of these inscriptions on gold pieces. The gold inscriptions are real artifacts, like the one in the photo found at Ratu Boko Palace. These gold inscriptions are not valued for its gold, but the knowledge written on it. They are for leaders of spiritual realm. According to this Siluman being, only Ratu Boko is rich. But Ratu Boko is a mythical king in our world and is therefore rejected by mainstream. There is also a gold inscription found at the retaining wall of the Gopura. It has an inscription that reads Om Taki Hum Ja Swaha. This is a mantra chanted by a Vairocana Buddhist to summon the spiritual beings to enter a Buddhist mandala. At the miniature temples area, archaeologists found a pot. In the pot, there is a gold strip. The gold strip reads Om Rudraya Nama Swaha. This is a Shaivite prayer. To the Hindus, this chant can create a cosmic energy field around the body. It balances the physical body, the mind, and emotion. It helps to overcome hate, fear, and anger. This will sound crazy if you are of one particular religion and not exposed to other religions, especially from some parts of the world we know nothing. What if I tell you a story that a Siluman race by the name Ratu Boko from the spiritual realm visited Yogyakarta and gave Rakai Pikatan golden plates. The golden plates were a source of knowledge sacred to the Javanese. Will this sound like a mythology? But what if I change the words without changing the context? An angel by the name Moroni from the heaven visited New York and gave Joseph Smith golden plates. The golden plates were a source of knowledge sacred to the Mormons. Will this sound like a myth? What I'm trying to say is that our brain works in such a way that if it sounds normal to you, then it is religion. Otherwise, it is a myth. Therefore, myth or religion is just a matter of definition and opinion. So, a Muslim from mainstream religion commanding Siluman being who could be Ratu Boko, who is a myth, may sound weird to Western people. The mysterious Siluman race is also known as Orang Bunyan or Bunyan people. They can be humans in physical world and spirits in spiritual realm at the same time. It is time for West to learn from East. The Bunyan people are believed to be the Siluman. They live in the deep forest. They are believed to be helping humans through Pawang and Bomo. Bunyan people can marry humans. Their offsprings will have supernatural ability and will live in the other realm, and therefore is invisible to human world, very much like the concept of a demigod. So now you can see why Ratu Boko Palace or temple is so intertwined with myths and legends. It becomes inseparable to the local Javanese. It is the Western academic system that eliminates the mythical side because they are non-scientific. The nature of siluman is like a stealth, so it is also a word for stealth in Indonesia. Therefore, the famous stealth bomber is also called siluman. Maybe we can bring the siluman into the bomber for a joyride in exchange for more information. While nobody knows for sure what is Ratu Boko for, I can tell you with certainty it is a great place for performance, and the locals will tell you it is a hot spot for cool sunset photos. The last mystery I would like to leave for you is why YouTube data shows there are no views after 4 hours when clearly I have more than 10 within a few minutes. This video will conclude my presentation of Ratu Boko Palace. I hope you can now see why we have a real structure with a mythical story and name after a myth but reject the story anyway. Well, that's all for now and have a wonderful day. Sekian, terima kasih.